This week on Supercars Talk, I'd planned to do a totally different video, but I'm so excited the full course yellow has been cancelled. It's a normal news week. Richie Stanaway will be running the number 62 this year. Pete Ziveris has given his drivers their own decision on what numbers they want to run, and Richie has chosen the number 62 because that's what he started racing with after his father used that as his racing number, so following it in the family. But as eagle-eyed viewers may have noticed, I'm trying a slightly different studio this week. I've moved into the spare bedroom. Hopefully the acoustics aren't quite as echoey in here, and in my office in the house, the ceiling is really high, so it's really hard to get good lighting happening. We'll see how we go, how this turns out with the window and everything in here. But yeah, just trying something a little bit different to bring you better videos this year. Also, eagle-eyed viewers have probably noticed that I'm using different editing software. There's over the last couple of videos, there's been a few things a little bit different in the videos, trying to keep them very similar, but yeah, playing with a new start video, and yeah, there's a few transitions and things like that. I've moved from a free program onto a paid program that yeah, it's very difficult to start off with, but hopefully in the long term it will end up with a lot better video quality for everyone. Before we get into the big talking point of the week, which is the full course yellow system, though, there has been some other news. So I suppose the actual big news this week is that Cameron Crick has been announced as a wild card for Sydney, and he will be continuing on at the Bend and Bathurst as an enduro wild card as well with Matt Stone Racing. He will be running that one in Dormer HVAC colours. That sponsor would be known to people, being Brad Vaughan's Super 2 sponsor for last year. The car will run as number 35, which is a previous MSR number. Yeah, co-driver TBA on that one. Yeah, I wonder, looking at a couple of Super 2 guys there, I reckon. Yeah, they're still also to announce the co-driver of the number 4 Cam Hill car as well. Obviously, Cameron Crick was Cam Hill's co-driver last year. There's also been a lot of Super 2 news this week. Brad Vaughan will be joining Brad Jones Racing for his third Super 2 campaign, stepping over from Tickford Racing. Obviously, they announced 3 and then a 4th driver there without Brad as part of that. He's going across to Brad Jones Racing for this year. Aaron Cameron, some questions over whether he will continue in Super 2 this year. He's been announced he's racing in Formula Regional Middle East this year. Now, the series is over. I'm not sure if it does clash with the Sydney Motorsport Park one, but it is a very for us, a summer series over there. So he will, I think, be able to compete in Super 2 if he is able to, but there hasn't been an announcement whether he's continuing on with the Kellys and what their kind of program will be. And I did mention that 4th Tickford car. It will be Nash Morris running in the 4th Tickford car there. It'll be Scott Taylor Motorsport backed car and number 222, which is a Scott Taylor Motorsport number. So yeah, a lot of entries already confirmed for the Super 2 ranks. I think it will be a fairly big field this year. And also, Walkinshaw and Dreda United. Now get this, they're a Ford team currently building a new, or just built a new Mustang for Chaz Mostert this year. They're already building the first Supra for next year. They're also in the stages of completing a brand new Holden Commodore, one of these ZB Commodores for Campbell Logan to run in Super 2 this year. So they've just built a Ford, they're building a Toyota, and they're building a Holden Commodore. So I don't think a team would have ever done that before. Maybe someone like Tom Walkinshaw Racing back in the day when they had multiple different crews and that all over the world, maybe. But yeah, an actual Australian team building kind of 3 different cars at the same time. Very, very interesting there. They've built a brand new Super 2 car like Tickford have. The rules have been relaxed so that you can build brand new cars for Super 2, the older generation Mustangs and Commodores, because of a lot of cars have gone to collectors. And so the WAU car that Zach Bates ran last year was a private or privately owned that was then leased back to the team for them to run him. So that's going back to its actual owner this year. Campbell will be running a brand new car, and his car from last year will be going down to Matt Hillier to run this year. So they don't have to worry about breaking someone's else's car, I suppose, because it is a big risk running, someone else's car in Super 2. Now on to some Supercars news before we get into the big talking point. Team 18 has moved into a new factory, which is next door to their current one. Pretty much they're still in that Waverley Forklifts enclave thing there in Mount Waverley. That's going to instantly make them a better team, and they'll just jump up the field straight away from that. Okay, it probably will help. It's a bigger facility, better set up and that, but yeah. They will be releasing the season liveries and I suppose a bit more information about the facility on February 12th. The other announcements for liveries, Cam Hill's car will be released the Canberra Festival of Speed on January 25th, while the Nick Percat and Cameron Crick cars will be released on February 11th at the MSR headquarters there up on the Sunshine Coast. And Supercars will be doing some testing at the Bathurst 12 Hour. This will be a continuation on from the testing that they did at the Bend just before Christmas. A Tickford car and a Team 18 car will be there running around. I've seen the track schedule. There's penciled in for a fair bit of running over the Friday and Saturday around there. They're going to be testing some new components like the new control tyre, and also testing for panel deflection, especially on the Mustang, which is what people are now suspecting is why the Mustang has a bit of a deficiency around Bathurst, because we've been through all of the engine horsepower and the wind tunnel testing and all that. Now they're saying that the panels are deflecting in a way that's kind of acting a bit like an air brake, I suppose. So hopefully there is some results over that, and we never have to hear about parity again this year. Now, the big talking point this week is that the full course yellow is dead. It's all over. Hallelujah. We can all relax and enjoy the racing. Common sense has prevailed, and yeah, it's done and dusted. Well, kind of. So from what I understand with it all, the full course yellow, the one where you run around, the sensible one where everyone has to slow to 80 Ks, which is still too fast, but the one where, say there's a little bit of debris on the side of the road that you run around slowly so the marshal would go out and pick it up safely. Now, my argument with that was we should be running around at say 40 or 60 kilometres an hour, a safer speed. If you try and run, I've got 80 kilometre an hour highway very close to me. You try and run across when the crossing, you trying to jaywalk across there, it's quite dangerous. Whereas, if the cars are, during school time, if you try and go across when the cars are doing 40 kilometres an hour, easy, not a problem in the world. But that's, I suppose, it's dead now, so an argument for a different time. What we have got, though, is still they're doing that stupid 15-second slow down thing to 80 Ks when the safety car is called. So now, instead of having the full course yellow or virtual safety car, we will all will be safety cars. So, any little debris on the side of the track will be a safety car situation, but you'll still have that slow down period, so you can't really go and retrieve anything until all the cars have done their pit stops, and then will we still have the 2-3 laps like we had at Sandown where you're cruising around at 80 Ks while we let everyone go and do a pit stop? What my argument is, if this is a proper safety thing, what we should be doing is shutting the pit lane, everybody slows down, get behind the safety car, then if there's no racing, if once the safety car is called and no one is racing at all, no one can get an advantage from it. The racing is essentially suspended so you can get to the incident straight away. So if someone is actually in a big incident and they're hurt, you can get the medical and that straight to it. With this kind of system, you're driving around at 80 Ks, trying to maximise your performance. Yeah, it's still fraught with danger. It's not a proper safety thing. We're dancing around too much, I think, trying to make it fair on everyone. And this is supposed to be an actual safety thing. So all the way through, I think we should be shutting the pit lane. So as soon as there is a proper incident, that you can get straight out there. Now, obviously, tiny little bit debris on the side of the track. Maybe if we announce that we're going to have a safety car, let everyone have a chance to pit and whatever. But at least we're moving in the right direction with this. In my opinion, that we're looking at it a bit more of the entertainment thing, because there was a lot of conjecture with Bathurst last year that everyone was just delaying their pit stop as much as possible just in case they got caught out by one of these full course yellow situations where you're getting a very cheap pit stop rather than, losing all the time under a green flag pit stop, while you lose a lot less time if people are cruising around at 80 Ks. With that, in my opinion, it's a step in the right direction, but I still think we should be doing more for the entertainment and for safety, because we have to accept we are in the entertainment business on this, so there has to be a factor of entertainment, but you also have to look at the safety. And what my fear is, the cars are very, very, very safe. Even like when you look at these models between the two, like leaps and bounds ahead is the Gen 3 car compared to the Gen 2 in safety. But still, if there is a massive incident where it is, seconds could make a difference with getting a driver out of a car in a big incident, if you've got to drive around for 3 laps at 80 Ks before you can really get the medical guys in there is absolutely stupid. I think we should be neutralising the race straight away. And if it is a softer thing, essentially let everyone know there's going to be a safety car in 1 lap. Do your pit stops now. If you need to, then we have the safety car to retrieve, the front bumper or whatever off the side of the track. Anyway, that's enough from me. Down in the comments, what do you think about the full course yellow and safety car and all of that? Do you have a better system, or do you like my system of kind of shutting the pits and just getting on with it? And if people lose out, well, they lose out, because usually it swings and roundabouts on these things. If you lose out one round, chances are you're going to pick it up in the next round. And it's not like you're probably going to lose out every time that this happens. Of course, people will focus on the one time that, a leader or something misses out because of it. But there will be, it's one of those ebb and flow things where, you win some, you lose some, but in my opinion, we need to look at it from a pure safety thing. And then obviously, the entertainment does come into it. And maybe, it could be a bit of entertainment if the leader ends up dropping back a bit and you get a couple of, odd ones jumping forward because they've, got the luck of the draw on something like that. Anyway, down in the comments, let me know what you think. What do you think of the new studio? Should I continue filming in here, or do we go back to the office? Anyway, until next time, I'm still Dave, and I'll catch you later.